Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. Friends, come back to the income tax series, which is income tax part 4. Today we would be discussing about. And it is really, really important for all of us, whether it's a student or the businessman or the salaried employees or the common employee, common person who's earning the income. It is for all of them, it is really, really important. These are all, today we are going to discuss the topic which is really essential, pertinent, and everybody would like to know about it. As you know, that income in the hands of the individual, that is the assessee, it is taxable, right? But this income which I'm going to discuss with you today, it is not at all part of the income. It will not be included in the total income, and the tax will not be levied on this. There are certain incomes which are not treated as income. As you know, any receipt in the hands of the individual is treated as income unless and until it is specifically mentioned that it is not taxable. So in this case, these are all the incomes which I am going to tell you are not at all included in the total income. It is not at all taxable. Okay, let's start. This is called section 10 receipts, meaning there are certain receipts of the incomes which are not taxable, which are not included in the total income at all. Okay, so under section 10 it is completely exempted. So please give due concentration on this. It is really important to know that which are all the incomes which are exempted under section 10, which are not taxable at all. Number one is an agricultural income. Under section 10 subsection 1, agricultural income, that is purely agriculture income, is exempted under the tax. It is not at all taxable. But it should be a pure agricultural income. If you mix the agricultural income with the non-agricultural income, that is the business income or otherwise, it is included to increase the slab rates, as well as certain amount of the income will be taxable. It should be a pure agriculture income, then it is not taxable, and it should meet the definition given of agriculture income under section 10, under section 21A. That is any income received from the land, from the agriculture which is situated in India and used for agricultural purpose, or any rental revenue received from any outhouse or the stock house whose vicinity is within 10 kilometers of the municipality or cantonment. So this is the agriculture income which is defined by Income Tax Act 1961. So if it meets that, then pure agriculture income is not at all taxable. It is not an income at all. You need not to pay the tax on the agriculture income. Any amount received by any member of the Hindu undivided family under section 10 subsection 2, it is not taxable. Okay, any share, Hindu undivided family, if any share received by the member of the Hindu undivided family, it is not taxable from the impartible estate as well. Then any share of the income received by the partner from the partnership firm is not taxable. However, it is taxable any remuneration, salary, bonus, commission received by the partner. It is taxable to the extent it is exempted for partnership firm. Okay, that is exempted under section 10 2A. And certain incomes of the non-residents, which are exempted under section 10 subsection 4, which is called non-resident. It is from the non-resident external account, it is exempted. Then leave travel concession. If you claim leave travel concession, then it is exempted under section 10 subsection 5. Okay, then remuneration received by the individual who is not the citizen of India, a certain remuneration received, for example, any remuneration received by the embassy of the foreign country, they might receive the salary in India from their countries. So that is exempted under section 10 subsection 6. Okay. Then 10 subsection 10 subsection 7, it says that allowances paid by the government to the employees serving outside India. Similar to that, any salary paid to the Indian embassies who are serving outside India, that is any, for example, any foreign embassy, foreign ambassador, that means for Indian citizen who's working for India in US in embassy, so such salary and or remuneration and all, it is exempted under section 10 subsection 7. So under section 10 subsection 10, any gratuity received by the individual after the retirement, it is exempted under section 10. However, there are certain provisions to be applied, and though according to that provision it is exempted, that in detail we'll discuss into the salary under from section 15 to 17. We'll discuss all those provisions, that is the Gratuity Act covered by India, Gratuity Act not covered by payment of Gratuity Act 1972. All those provisions are there. In detail we'll discuss there, but here assume that partially it is exempted. Amount received, any amount received by way of encashment, pension received, whether you have received in the pension in lump sum, that is you commute the pension, that means you go and tell the government or the any agency, any business who are giving the pension to you, you say that for 10 years I don't take anything, give it to me now itself. That is called commuted income. So if you commuted or non-commuted monthly, both are exempted under section 1010A. However, certain provisions are applicable. If certain conditions are applicable, it is exempted, you need not to pay. Then encashment of earned leave. So if you encash after the retirement, if you encash, you have the leave balance, surrender that leave to the company and take the money in lieu of your leaves. That is not taxable, but however certain provisions are applicable, only the partial is not taxable. 1010B, retrenchment compensation. Retrenchment compensation under section 1010B, it is exempted. However, there are certain provisions are applicable. That means the employer remove the employee and pay certain amount of money. That is called the retrenchment compensation. That is not taxable. However, certain provisions are applicable. Based on that provision, it is exempted. Retirement compensation from the public sector. Under section 1010C, it is a voluntary retirement from the public sector or any other company. Then such amount received might not be taxable, but however, there are certain maximum up to 5 lakhs. It is not taxed. Over and above 5 lakhs, it is a taxable. Payment from the statutory provident fund. If you have contributed to statutory provident fund, under section 1011, if you receive the money after a certain period of time, it is not taxable under section 10 subsection 11. Amount received from the recognized provident fund under section 10 subsection 12, it is not taxable. Then payment from any superannuation fund. If any fund you have contributed, set aside your money, you have saved it, and you have contributed in a superannuation fund, then that is also not taxable. House rent allowance. Anybody who's residing in a rented house, certain portion of these house rent allowance received is exempted based on certain provisions. that is excess of rent paid or 10% of salary, 40% of the salary in case of the non-metros, and metros 50% of the salary. Then actual house rent allowance received from the company, whichever is the lowest, that would be exempted. So although this thing also we were going to be studying in detail in salary. And under the head salary, section 15 to 17. Any scholarship received is exempted under section 10, subsection 16. And the one which I am going to tell you, it is very peculiar. You would say that it is unfair, but law has been provided, but we cannot change it. So even I feel that, but whatever you feel and I feel might not be the law. Correct, no? So let's talk about it. Any allowances received by the MLA, MP and MLC. Any allowances received by the MLA, MP and MLC, it is not taxable at all for them. Do you feel it is unfair? Can't help it. So under section 1017, any allowances received by the MP, MLA and MLC is not taxable. Okay, you like it or not? Accept it. Then awards given by the central government, the state government in cash or in kind, that is not taxable under section 1017A. Then pension received by the gallantry awards, it is not taxable. Then family pension received, it is not taxable under section 1019. Then any income of the local authority, municipality, GMC, CMC, any income received by them, it is not taxable under section 1019. Any income of any research association or institution, it is not taxable under section 10, subsection 21. Institution of the development authorities or the Khadi and the Khadi Village and Industries Board, any income of such board is not taxable at all, and it is not included in the income as income, and it is not taxable. Any income from mutual fund, it is exempted under section 10, subsection 23D. Any income of a registered trade unions which is set up to help the members of the trade union under section 10, subsection 24, it is not taxable. Any income from Provident and Superannuation Fund exempted under section 10, subsection 25. Any income received from the employee state insurance under section 1025A, it is not taxable. Any income of the scheduled tribes and members of the scheduled tribes under section 10, subsection 26, as well as under section 10, subsection 26A, it is exempted. Any interest received is exempted. Any income received from the corporation by the ex-serviceman exempted under section 1026BBB, it is exempted. Any income of the cooperative society is exempted under section 1027. Any amount received, income of the child club under section 10, subsection 32, it is exempted. Any income of the shares in certain cases, it is exempted under section 10, subsection 36. And any income received through the capital gain, this is really important. Capital gain on a compulsory acquisition. If you have the land on the roadside and the road authorities, they acquired your land and give you the compensation, you need not to pay the tax on that. Okay, so these are all the incomes which are not taxable, and the other things we will discuss in the respective heads. Okay, these are all the incomes which are not included, not considered as income. You need not to pay the tax on that. The other things we would discuss in the respective income tax chapters. Thank you so much. Take care. Allah Hafiz.